Yes, people, we're here again on my channel. Finally back again. Obviously, a lot has gone on this week. I've got a special guest with me, but before I introduce them, quick intro. Here we go, guys. Yeah, people, listen. The guest that's bringing on today, obviously, is a very, very good friend of mine. We talk about football all the time off camera. We thought, you know what? I've got a channel. He's got a TikTok, which we will plug in the end. And might as well do it on camera. There he is. His name's Haj, man. Here he is.
Let's
How
go.
you doing,
Let's
my friend?
go. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a bit stiff when it comes to intros. So yeah,
It's all right, man.
My name Haj. I'm a Man United fan, and we'll keep it at that.
That's it, man. That's all that matters. Obviously, guys, as I said, you can find him on TikTok. If you look in the description down below, you'll find his account. And don't worry, guys, he's not doing dances or stuff like that. Listen, this is serious ball talk on TikTok. He spits facts. Man United fan, is doing really well as well. So check him out, man. Check him out. But yeah, listen, our discussion is just going to revolve around a couple of topics. Listen, it's been one of the craziest weeks of football I can remember in ages. So we it's only fair for us to touch on the Super League. And you know what? He was talking backstage, and he didn't know we weren't live yet. And I'm not gonna lie, he was spitting facts. So I'm gonna let him take over. Just speak about Super League. Give me your opinions. Let me know what you think is gonna happen from now. And yeah, take the stage, man.
Cool, bro. You know what it is? I think this is just the beginning. Like this Florentino Perez, bro. Like he even done an interview. I think it was yesterday. Like he's certain, like he's like, yo, like this isn't over. It's just taking a little pause, and we're gonna touch back on it. And you know what? Like I said, I feel like the only reason why, look, my main issue is I'm against the whole thing. It removes merit from football. It's like a guaranteed success for any team that has money.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: like so many people try to come out and say, nah, it's all about teams with history. Nah, that's bullshit because Ajax went in it. But you've got teams like Tottenham. What have Tottenham done? Like, as far as I can remember, I think they've only won a League Cup in the past 10 years.
League Cup last 10 years. It was 2007, I want to say. So 13 years, actually. So there you go.
That's all they've done. But just because they've got money, they've got the whole new stadium and everything, you want to drag them in. And that's why it didn't make sense to me. But my main issue, which me and you touched on, was the fact that whenever I go on social media, they're idolizing. Like everyone's saying, appreciation post for Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher, Rio Ferdinand crying about grassroots football and everything. Bro, the only reason why they're so upset, let's just bear in mind, okay? Everybody's like idolizing Rio Ferdinand. Has everybody forgotten that, I don't know if you saw it, 2 weeks ago when he decided to make that comment about, why don't Newcastle fans put all their piece together and go buy Newcastle?
Haj, bro, he posted on Twitter and someone replied to him. I think Newcastle fan. She said, "Why don't you just go ahead and buy United so you can sort this issue out?" And actually, the tweet banged. Yeah,
bro,
so
they literally contradict themselves because they think everyone's coming out. They care about the fans. They care about the football. Like I said, I only know about United. The only reason why Gary Neville is annoyed is because it will have some sort of impact on the team that he owns, which is Salford.
Facts. Yeah,
that's one. And number two, bro, there's no point of him doing Friday night football, Sunday night football. What are they called? Sunday.
So it's Super Sunday, Super Sunday.
Super Sunday.
Yeah.
Monday night football. Bro, nobody's gonna watch them. Who's gonna put on the TV to watch? Let's say Burnley against West Ham. Like, all due respect to both teams. But nobody's watching them because have you clocked with Sky Sports? They always put the big pundits on the big games.
Yeah.
So once you drag out the big teams away, Gary Neville is not going to be in the job. And here's the thing: I don't think they'll even hire him because Florentino Perez, he's very adamant that he wants to get a lot of foreigners. Like he even said, like I think this was false, isn't it? Like it was from a fake account. He said, "Oh, all of our referees are going to be the world's best, and they won't have any Englishmen because let's be real, English referees are shit."
Yeah.
That's the thing. They'll go and so that's the thing. Like I just feel like they were more upset because they never got brought in, and that's why they came out and made this passionate rant. Because Gary Neville has come out numerous of times, not backed the Glazers, but questioned why fans are angry with the Glazers.
Do you know what's mad? Do you know Jamie Carragher has called him out on TV saying, "Oh, you don't speak about the Glazers like this." He called them out. Like I remember ages ago. You know they have the little beef, they have the little banter. He called him out, and the guy was just you can tell he was shaken up, like, oh, I don't know what to say. But now that there's something on the line for him personally, he's speaking out against them. The other day he spoke about this. I've been to the Old Trafford Stadium. He talked about the roofing and how it looks quite rusty.
Yeah,
motherfucker, you knew about this for ages. Now you want to speak about it. Now that it matters. Yeah,
that's the thing. No, it's because his job is at a risk. Because I can guarantee you, if Florentino Perez had hit up Carragher, Neville, I don't even know who the other middleman is, the one that presents. If he had hit up any of them and said, "Listen, there's a job for you," bro, they would have come out and made the Super League look like the next big thing.
Yeah.
Because the thing is look, I'm all for change, but it was too much of a drastic change. Like, I'll be honest. I love how football is. Premier League, Champions League, there's top four, there's relegation, there's Europa, and I'd never want it to change. But if someone was to say, we're going to change the Champions League, just tweak it a little bit, I'm cool with that because I've been watching the same Champions League format for like ever since I started watching football in 2003.
We have to adapt, bro. We have to adapt. I'm not against the concept of a Super League again, but obviously I have the same issues that you do. Number one, my main issue is the fact that there's 12 founding clubs. Now, how did they get there? Who decided who goes there? Like, why is there a chairman who runs a club there? Like, we want to avoid corruption. Process. Yeah. So to me, that was one of the issues, obviously. But for me, a Super League is an adaptation from the Champions League. It's something that we need to do. Like, I'm sorry. Like, at the end of the day, I don't want to watch Sevilla versus Atalanta in the group stages. I'll be honest with you. I want to watch Barcelona versus Man United. I want to watch it from the start. That's the reality of it. Like, we have to somehow, some way in the future, we will adapt. Do you know what stood out for me, by the way? Is that every single owner, Perez, the AC Milan, Gazidis, so he's not an owner, but he's the director. Even Laporta and Barcelona, they've come out and said this concept isn't dead yet. So I know it's coming back, and we can tell it's going to come back. Yeah, like they haven't lost hope. What surprised me is the English club stances. Is that, for example, you're looking at Ed Woodward getting sacked. You're looking at John Henry coming out and apologizing. I feel like they got really shook because English fans have different vibes, man. Like when we want to protest, look at Arsenal right now. Like we want to protest and we want to create change, we will come out in the thousands, and it will actually affect the club. We saw with Arsenal and Arsene Wenger. Like I honestly think the protests kind of pushed them out the door at some point. Do you know what I mean? I feel like us English fans are mad. Like we don't take things lightly. We saw it with Chelsea as well. So that's one of the things that stood out.
So here's the thing: it's just English fans, because from what I've read, apparently all the Spanish teams are for it.
Yeah.
Because I read it yesterday that Barcelona declared they're not leaving.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And Madrid are owned by Perez, so they're not leaving. So that's the thing. I feel like it's just, and here's the thing: because it's 12 teams and 50% of those teams are from the UK.
Yeah.
So once those 6 leave,
that's it. So
there's no point. But I just feel like. And here's the thing, like in the beginning, I was like, because I was reading it online, like so many people were like praising the fans, like all respect to the fans and everything. But let's be real, I don't think they done it because of the fans.
Of course not.
Because apparently, I don't know what his name, I think it's like Alexander, the UEFA president.
Seferin. Yeah.
Next thing you know, they've got 4 billion just chilling on the side. Bro, and then it came out and it said, they basically offered money to only to Premier League teams. Because here's the thing. You can offer money to the Italian teams. You're only going to take out, 2 teams?
Yeah.
Or is it 3? Like, there's still a decent amount of teams there. But once you take out 50%, the whole thing collapses. They paid off the Premier League teams. And now
do you want to add to that, by the way? Can I add to that? Let me tell you something else, bro. In 2 years, have you seen the format of the Champions League? The new Champions League.
The Swiss
format, the format is identical to the Super League. Now, obviously, people argue to me that the big clubs had to be enticed to stay, and that was the only way to entice them to stay because you give them more games, you give them more revenue. But at the same time, there's this rule which stood out for me. It's the coefficient rule. So if you're high on the coefficient table, which I don't know how they measure, I think it's based on your history. You're able to qualify. So, for example, this year, Arsenal and Tottenham would have qualified based on the coefficient. So, literally, bro, it's the same thing. Is that merit?
It removes merit.
That's not merit. Yeah, that is not merit. Yeah. Again, we go back to it. So, that's why I came out and spoke out about UEFA and FIFA in the past, when this was happening. And I got a lot of people telling me, listen, what are you talking about? This guy is the evil. Florentino Perez is the one we need to look out for. I was like, listen, we've been fucked over by these guys for years. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. Since these men came out and said it's for the fans, in the Leeds jersey, I remember before the Liverpool game. Was the game for the fans when you let BT buy your rights, when you let the highest bidder buy your rights, and then make us pay £25, £30 a month to watch football? Is that for the fans as well?
Remember the beginning of the year? I remember it got announced. Because I can't remember if it was BT or Sky, but one of them came out and said we've suffered a lot from the pandemic, so every Saturday evening game is $14.99.
Yeah, the pay-per-view.
And I remember one time it was the Man United Newcastle game, and then I was like, bro, I'm not paying 15 quid for a one-off game. And then because people protested and because they realized no one was watching the games, they came out a month later saying we realized that a lot of fans are under pressure because of the pandemic. They've lost their jobs and everything, so we've removed it. Bro, it's bullshit. If people started paying, it would still be running.
Regardless, they made their profits and ducked out. That's what they did. They made the money and ducked out. Bro, listen, why are we going so far back? Sorry, why are we going this early back? I can go so far back. I can go even earlier, bro. Before the pandemic, can you watch football games from 3 o'clock to 5:30 on a Saturday in England? Can you watch football games? No, you can't. Do you know why? Because they want to entice people to go to the stadiums. Number one, the stadium prices are more expensive. And number two, bro, how are we gonna watch? I have to go and pay for something else. I have to go get a box for I don't know where it is. So for me, bro, these men that tell us they're here for the fans and they want to save football, you guys have been killing it single-handedly. So before this person came, the one good thing about the Super League is that these men understand that they're not the most powerful man out there. That's the best thing about it, because these men they were held accountable by these owners, and they know now that they're in trouble. So they need to fix their act up. That's the only thing I'm hoping to bring out of this. But for me, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not acting like UEFA and FIFA are the martyrs here and they've saved us. They've saved football. Because that's bollocks, man. That's not true.
Bro, they're both just as bad. What it is UEFA are upset because they're not getting a cut in this. That's exactly what it is.
Exactly.
If the proposition was put forward from the owners, including UEFA, I can guarantee you it would have gone through, because at the end of the day, they're all getting their bread. But UEFA, they feel left out, that they're like, okay, cool. We're about to lose our biggest teams, the teams that earn us the most revenue, the teams that attract us all the sponsorship and everything. They're about to go and do their own thing. What are we left with? And I even said it on my TikTok. I was like, this whole, we're going to ban them from playing and they can't represent their countries. Bro, that's bullshit.
Can't do that,
they can't do that. They literally dug into their pockets and realized, oh, wow, we've got 4 billion. Let's split it over these 6 teams and they'll be quiet. But the one thing that I'm annoyed with Perez is that he came out and said, the reason behind the Super League is because so many teams have suffered in the pandemic and this is a way to generate more money. Bro, that's selfish, because how many teams went into administration? And I remember so many times people were calling out these Premier League teams, if they can all just chip in 1 million. 1 million, that's 20 million. You can probably save about 2-3 teams. None of them chipped in. I don't know if you saw I think it was Monday Night Football when they brought on Steve Parish. Crystal Palace owner. Yeah. He was chatting bluff.
Yeah.
I felt bad for him because I was like, I don't know nothing about this guy. Let me hear his verdict. He's just stuttering 24/7.
Yeah.
And I was just like wow, because they
questioned
he's
in trouble. He's in trouble, bro. He's in trouble. Without these clubs, he's in trouble. And what Jamie Carragher actually called him out on something, which was, he's like, listen, why am I going to listen to you and not think that you're in it for yourself when you voted to what did he say, void and cancel the league last year, right? 14 teams voted for that, I believe, or 13, something like that. So he's saying, listen, you're out for yourself. What's changed now? Are you worried about the essence of the league now? The guy couldn't answer, man. He started stuttering. One
Yeah,
thing I
man.
liked about Jamie, yeah, that he called him out for
His
that.
phone was just like constantly ringing in the
Yeah.
background, bro. Like,
But
I'm not
it was
surprised.
Zaha calling, man. It was Zaha calling. He wanted to get out of the
Bro,
club, man.
I'm not
Trust me, bro.
surprised if it's like his team. They realize, oh
Yeah.
shit, like
Listen.
he's backed in
Yeah.
a corner.
Yeah.
Let's start distracting him. But the
Yeah.
thing is like Perez came out and he said, like, oh, a lot of teams suffer from the pandemic. Now this is a way to generate money. Bro, if you look at Madrid as a whole, what are they doing at the moment? They're renovating their stadium. They're playing in their training ground.
Yeah.
That's one. And here's the thing. At the end of the day, they're financing a stadium, and you could argue that the reason why they're short on money is because of them.
Yeah.
Because I could say the same about Man United. Like, this is my stance when it comes to like generating money in football. If you're gonna have to spend in order to generate more in the future, if you invest in your team and you build this amazing team, you're gonna get better sponsorship. Okay,
Facts.
Your share prices will go up. The more you compete, the more you win, the more money you get. Bro, once you're the biggest club in the world, the money is flooding in. But if you choose to neglect that and you don't spend, you don't invest in your team, don't come out crying that, we've lost so much money, because every single team's lost money. And it's unfair.
Do you know why they've lost money? Specifically, those two teams. They've spent it terribly. Like, you have to look at Madrid. Madrid's wages, for example, the likes of Bale, who gets 600k a week. Yeah. The signings of Bob finishes, like all these men that are worth more than 40, 50 mil and on 200k a week. Look at Barcelona. Barcelona's been run to the ground for the last 10 years, bro. Yeah. And they wonder why they're in debt. Come on, man. Like, are you telling me that Barcelona and Madrid are struggling because match-going fans are not going? Because match-going fans are not paying them? Come on, man. That's ridiculous. It's the two biggest clubs in the world, bro. These men generate money in their sleep. People buy shirts almost every minute. I can guarantee you, every minute, someone out there is buying a Madrid or Barcelona shirt. So these men are struggling. Of course.
Shirt sales make crazy. Like, I think,
of course.
What was it? I was saying it to one of my friends. Arsenal. I think Arsenal, every 2 months, they release something new. And I'll give it to them. Like, they're focusing on this whole, like, retro theme. Yeah. And they released that whole tracksuit. I remember even I said it. Like, I was like, I'm not an Arsenal fan, but that tracksuit and jumper is cold. Like, it's
They always have good kits, to be fair.
Yeah, and bro, it sold out within 24 hours.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
When you buy it from the stores, like from, let's say, the Arsenal website, bro, they're not cheap. Like, I think just the jersey is £65.
How many of those, man, that bought them are in the stadium processing right now, do you think?
Bro, I think maybe 75% of them. Like, it's like the Tottenham one. I saw it on Twitter where it was the protest, and someone taking a photo of all the protesters, and then you can see behind the banner, he's got a Tottenham mega store bag. So he's gone into the store. He's bought something, given them peas, and now he's standing outside protesting.
That Tottenham one was a tragedy, man. It was terrible. I watched the videos. It was like a couple of men. It was a concert going on. There was a brother buying plates like from the merchandise store. I don't know, bro. It was, but no, the Arsenal one. I saw some videos. Obviously, bro, these men are gonna turn out in numbers. They have the AFTV. They have the the big influencers. So once you see them post it, bare men are gonna show up. But to be honest with you, thinking about the Chelsea protest, just moving on to that. Like, bro, I felt like we were a bit it was a bit hypocritical. Like, we love, as Chelsea fans, we always cry out for transfers and we want those 200 mil, transfer windows. But when this guy wants to make more money for the club, I'm talking about Roman here, they want to protest because he's done something that they don't accept. But you have to understand, it's a business. Like, business-wise, I'll be honest with you, business-wise, this was a great move. The Super League is a wonderful move. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But emotions and football and fairness, of course, it doesn't. It's ridiculous. But you guys have to understand, it's going to happen eventually because business comes first with these men. These oligarchs, these billionaires, they think about money first, bro. That's the fact.
The thing. It's like with Chelsea, I can't speak on the whole fan base because maybe you could say maybe 50% of them there were actually crying because of the whole like messing up of the football pyramid and everything. Like, I agree with that one. Like, bro, it will change football. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if I start to hate football. Because here's the thing, like, I'm against this whole, like, I saw so many people like back and forth about the whole, like, the pros and cons of the Super League, like how they don't want to watch the shit games. They'd rather just watch the big games. Yeah. But I was saying, the thing that makes these big games so amazing is because they're so rare.
I agree, yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, okay, the first year will be amazing. Oh, like on a Saturday, I watch Man United, Juve. 5 days later, I'm watching Man United, Barca. But bro, after a year, it does get boring. And the thing about the Champions League, which is amazing, it's the whole raffle. Like, you don't know who you're gonna get, and that's what makes football. But the fact that you're gonna guarantee me playing Barcelona 2-3 times a year, Real Madrid 2-3 times, it makes it boring. But
I agree. But do you know what though? You know what, to counter this, yeah? I've thought about this because I love basketball, yeah? And with basketball, big teams play each other at least 6-7 times a year, yeah? And I'm not gonna lie to you, like when I tune into the games, I'm still excited the same way. Obviously, because there's new narratives, there's always something new about the games, right? Because bro, I'm not gonna lie, even if you look at the Champions League, bro, we played Barcelona 3 times in a row, I think, in 3 years, right? And it was still exciting. I get what you mean, like you can water down the product if it keeps being repeated. But I do think when it comes to like the big stage, which is the quarterfinals, semi-finals, if you play each other, it doesn't matter what year, when, or how often. I still think it's exciting. I still think you're intrigued. You still want to see your team progress. So I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying to an extent. But I look at basketball's model, and I do see it kind of working, bro. Do you know what I mean? I do see it kind of. I think we will get used to it eventually.
No, I get you.
Yeah.
Like that's why so many people are coming out saying it's like the franchise league, innit? Because it's all about money. But the thing is I was saying this to one of my friends. It's like, what's the incentive for these teams to go out in the Super League and go for it? Because here's the thing. Let's say midway through, you realize, oh shit, we can't win it.
Yeah.
You can't get relegated. There's no top 4. There's literally nothing. It's just number 1, and then everyone else is on the same.
It's a big
line.
prize money though, Haj. I heard this. I heard there's something along the lines of 600, 700 million, bro.
No.
Which is
cool.
big.
That's for number 1.
Yeah.
And I understand that they get like, I think it's like 375 just for participating.
Yeah.
But bro, whether you come second or you come 20th, I think it is 20 teams, you're still getting 375. So let's say on the day where it might be, let's say Barcelona and United, and let's say they're both in 13th and 7th. Bro, that game is pointless. So what makes you think?
No, it's true.
What makes you think Barca are going to go for it? What makes you think United will go for it? Because that's the thing, because it's not a knockout system. Like that's why I love the Champions League. It's knockout. So even sometimes the underdog, they have to go for it. Even if their team is shit, they have to go for it because that's the only way they'll go through.
Look at the history of the Champions League, bro. Monaco reaching the semi-final. Porto this year reaching the quarters. You've got last year, who reached the semis? Was it Lyon? Lyon, bro. The year before that, Ajax. So these stories would never happen because obviously, because of what you're saying, like competition is not there anymore. It's either first or bust. But when there's knockouts, you have to go for it. It's a one-off game, and you have to kind of mastermind the team to beat this big team, which happens. It happens most times in the Champions League. We always have a fairy tale story. We always have, every year we have one fairy tale story in the Champions League. I've actually noticed.
Like that's what makes it fun. Like you could even say it's the same about the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, innit? That's what makes it great. But the Super League, innit, it was just there for money. That was it. Because like here's another point. I thought with the Super League, cool, the games will still be at OT, Old Trafford, and this and that. They're not. It's gonna be like, bro, it's gonna feel like preseason. It's gonna be like, Man United against Barcelona in Singapore.
It's gonna happen,
100,000 stadium. Now here's the thing. I saw so many people online saying, we're gonna boycott it, we're not gonna watch it. Nah. But bro, okay, let's think about this. Do you think the people that live in Singapore that haven't had the opportunity to come to Manchester and watch Man United, do you think they're not going to buy the tickets? At the end of the day, this is like a one-off opportunity for them to go. Because it's like preseason, for example. When we do it in America, no UK fans are going to America just to watch a preseason game, but the stadiums still sell out. Yeah. Because they're such a big team that they'll attract just neutral fans, like fans that don't support neither team, they'll just go. So the money will always come. It's just, I just felt like it was very selfish.
It was, bro. It was. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. The last point I want to just talk about this is, for me, what really annoyed me is that these men were just catering to one part of the world, And you know how I know that? Because the announcement for the Super League came out at 11:30 UK time. Do you know what time that is Eastern time? It's 6:30 PM in America. So it shows me what these men were aiming for. They were aiming to Americanize the game. Like you're talking about Florentino Perez wanting to shorten games. Bring in full quarters? Bro, like, come on, man. Like, that's the one thing that pissed me off. And Americans were trying to tell me you have to adapt to globalization. Imagine we went to America and tried to change your sports, bro. You lot would actually, it would be protests. This isn't anything against Americans, but bro, it's just, leave things the way they are. Every sport is different. We can't Americanize our game. It's not catered to it.
They wanted to, like, I felt like they wanted to make it like, what is it? The Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Like, have you seen the Super Bowl? Like, I've only seen it here and there. Like, I think it's like what 20, 25 minute and a half, or maybe
Yeah.
I'm wrong. And then in the middle, we're talking 20, 30-minute break.
Yeah.
Shakira comes out and everything, bro. Like I remember when the Champions League used to be on ITV, and I used to hate it because I'm like, bro, 15 minutes, 10 minutes of it is adverts.
Yeah.
I would rather sit down 15 minutes and just watch some analysis. That's why I always favor the BBC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bro, what am I going to do? What? Quarters of 20 minutes? That is boring. And he came out saying, oh, like, they've done a study, 16 to 24-year-olds are not into football. They're into gaming and shit. Bro, that's bullshit. Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah. No, it's listen, he was just trying to feed us bullshit, man. Honestly, he's 75 years old. I'm not surprised if he's senile or he's delusional. I don't know, man. But this guy, he literally tried to feed us bullshit just to put money into his pocket. But everyone called him out upon it, so it's good, man. It's good. But no, man, listen, we Super League. Hopefully, we don't see it happening soon, bro. But if it does happen, listen, I've said it. I've already said it. You mean you've already said it? We need to see it in a certain format, which is equal, which gives everyone a chance. And if it happens, it happens, innit? But now we're gonna move on. Now, before I move on, guys, obviously I need you to like the video, subscribe to this channel. I know I haven't uploaded in a while, but listen, I'm gonna start uploading more content, more different content as well. It's not gonna be the same thing. This is the content. It's on friends, like on TikTok as well. So if you see down below the description, there is a link to his TikTok. Again, I have to say, it's not a dancing video. He's talking straight ball talk, proper ball talk, and you guys can subscribe to him, follow him. Hopefully, you'll have a YouTube channel soon as well, and he'll publicize it on there.
Soon.
Yeah, but now we're gonna be talking about United and Chelsea here, obviously. Like, I want to start with United. Like, I've watched some of your videos on TikTok, and I want you to just go. Like, I know you've got everything in your mind about Oli United. I want you to just go ahead, talk to me, tell me what you think, because the title of this video, I don't know if you noticed, it was has Oli proved critics wrong? I'll start off by answering that for me.
Has Oli proved critics wrong? Okay. When Oli first got the job, I wanted him to get the job. Like, bro, I was all for it. And here's the thing, like, you could argue I based my decision on emotions. Okay, like the PSG game, we went like, what was it, like 12 games unbeaten. Like, we were literally destroying every single team.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Like, bro, the football we were playing on the front foot, dominating. Like, bro, it didn't matter who we were playing against. Like, I remember there was one game where the first time I was like, I'm not even worried. I think it was FA Cup away to Arsenal. And Arsenal were in form. And then we saw the lineup and I was like, bro, like, what you doing? You've benched Martial, you've done this, you've done that. Like, I was worried.
Lukaku on the wing.
And we won 3-1.
Yeah.
Like, I was like,
smashed him,
yeah, I was like, yo, I'm all for this. Then he got given the permanent role. And I was like, cool. Like, as long as we pick up where we left off in the previous season, I'm all for it. Cool. Like, look, I understand. No matter who we bring in, like, I wanted Poch. We bring in Poch, bro. Poch won't get backed. We can bring in Nagelsmann. He won't get backed. We can bring in Ten Hag. He won't get backed. They'll get backed, but not as much as they want. Now, I get this. That's why, like, when so many people come out and defend Solskjaer, like, oh, he never got the players he wanted. Bro, he's already spent, like, what is it, nearly 250, 300 M's.
Facts.
Like, that's enough. It's not my fault they went and paid 80 million for Harry Maguire when you could turn around and say 80 million they could have bought 2 wavy players. Yeah. As long as they scout it correctly. But I just feel like with Solskjaer, in terms of like tactics, like I've seen him. Like, okay, he's a coach. I'm not. Okay, I'm a fan. He knows way more than me. Cool. But bro, sometimes when you're watching the game and you're thinking, okay, cool, it's crying out for this. Like, it's crying out for this. And I'm just a fan. I base it on what I see. And he doesn't do it. But then the following game, he does it. And you see the impact it has. You start questioning him because you're like, bruh, like, if I saw this, if everybody on social media saw this and you didn't, that is worrying.
It's true.
The thing is, look, maybe this is like a little bit ignorant for me. I never really rated the whole man management style. Like, I always felt, look, man management is so important, but I always felt you needed a bit more. And here's the thing, like, so many people have come out, like, I've read it, you either get one of two. You either get a tactician or you get man management. But I was like, that's bullshit. You can get both.
Of course.
Like, man management is just about being a nice person. Like, don't be a dick like Mourinho.
Yeah.
Bro, just have a good understanding with the players, but you could also be a genius. So that's the thing. But I just feel like his man management this year, look, us being second, I think it's a fluke.
Okay.
Here's the thing, like I've seen so many people come out and say like, oh, you can't be second fluking your way and everything. If you've actually watched United, like watched us from game week 1 to I think now we're like what, game week 32, so many times you're watching United and you're thinking, how are we not 3-0 behind? Like I remember the prime game that I watched where I was like, bruh, like we should go into halftime at 4-0 down. It was against West Ham, London Stadium. You had Haller rounding the keeper and buckling.
He buckled, tripped,
You had Bowen missing like 2 sitters.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, Pogba with the screamer. And then I think it was like Rashford and Greenwood.
He brought on Bruno as well half time. Yeah.
And then everybody got excited. But it's just papering over the cracks because I was like, here's the thing. On any other day, if West Ham were clinical, bro, we're going into half time, 3-4-0 down.
Yeah.
And I don't think we'll come back. And not like, I could literally list 10 games. The Brighton game when we got a penalty after the full-time whistle. Bro, that game, if you looked at the stats, they were filthy. Like, I think it was his name? Solly March. 2-3 times.
Trossard hit the post 3 times, bro. He hit the I remember that game. Yeah.
It was a violation. Like I was watching it and I was just like, wow. Like I love Graham Potter as a manager, but I was just like, look at our team and look at yours. And you're telling me we can't, like, I understand sometimes football is a game of 2 halves. I'd love my team to dominate 90 minutes.
Yeah.
But bro, we didn't even dominate 1 half. Like they were literally just peppering us and then we scored on counters. And that's why I always say, like, us being second, the way we play football, it's not sustainable. And I feel like next year, we will... Here's the thing. Depending on whether teams strengthen or not, I just don't see this luck coming our way next year. Like, I don't see it. And that's why, like, it worries me. But he's very... I want to say he's very arrogant because there's some of the stuff that he does where I'm like, you're doing it. So, like, you see, sometimes the manager will do something and everyone before the game will be like, what's he doing? This is the wrong move. But then when it pays off, everyone pays homage to him. Like, oh, credit to him. He got it right. And I've seen Solskjaer try to do it so many times and it never works. Like, the one game where I think I lost it was the Leipzig game. Bro, we needed a draw or a win and we go through. Like, let's not forget, United needed 1 point from 9. And we were out here, like, going Turkey and everything, just getting spanked. 1 point from 9.
Yeah.
The one game we have to win against Leipzig. Now, let's bear in mind that OT, we beat them 5-1. Now, here's the thing. Everybody got excited saying we beat them 5-1. I watched that game. Bro, I'm not going to say we deserve to lose, but the scoreline doesn't reflect the game. It should have never been 5-1. If anything, it maybe should have been a 2-1 victory because they were all over us in the first half. And 4 out of our 5 goals were just counters because you know German teams, they play such a high line.
Yeah.
It favours United. Like,
he brought on Rashford as well. Yeah, he brought on Rashford. He scored a hat-trick in 90 minutes, something like that. Yeah.
Ping it over the top and he's in. But in terms of football, bro, they fully outplayed us. They just couldn't score. And then against Leipzig, he puts Pogba on the bench. Here's the thing. If it had worked, everyone would have been idolizing him. Oh, Mino Raiola came out and scored.
Exactly, I was going to say that, yeah.
And everything. Cool. But, bro, at the end of the day, if you're a manager and you know this is, like, I think Pogba's the best player in the team. If this is your best player, why are you going to bring in what his agent said to his performances? At the end of the day, you put him out there to perform. You can deal with him behind the scenes about his agent and everything. But let's be real. Pogba's been at United for 4 years. Raiola was saying shit on the Mourinho.
Yeah.
He's saying shit on the Solskjaer. Nothing's going to change, bro. That's just the type of agent he is. You bench him. We go 3-0 down. I think it was like 3-0.
3-0, yeah.
Pogba in the 70th minute.
He scored.
3-2.
Yeah.
And then everybody's there thinking, like, my guy, if you had started Pogba, let alone maybe bring him on in the 45th minute, it could have been different. And that's why I don't trust him. Like,
but you shouldn't be 3-0 down though. If you're playing for a draw or you just need 1 point, you shouldn't be 3-0 down, brother. No excuses. You should, like, I remember that game. Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, like they switched off. It was horrendous. But that's the thing. You know my stance on Oli is this year. Like I think he gets treated too harshly. I'll be honest with you. I think he gets treated too harshly because I think the whole he has no tactics, he's clueless. I think that's really harsh because at the end of the day, counter-attacking is a tactic, right? Counter-attacking, you acknowledge what you have, yeah? You acknowledge the players that you have. He has Bruno, who loves to play balls over the top, who loves to take risks, and you got Rashford, who's a runner. But obviously, Martial doesn't fall into that category now because of the whole counter-attacking football, because he's someone who likes the ball at feet to kind of play within Van der Beek or Pogba and find their spaces. But for me, I think he gets treated too harshly. But at the same time, his fanatics and his lovers, they act like he's a perfect coach. Like he's tactically, I've seen him make some very like odd mistakes. Like the way, you know what? Just look at the way he treats his players. Look at the way Rashford's been overplayed. Look at the way he never leaves that McFred pivot. He never, in every big game they play. It shows you he can't trust his defense. When you've spent that much on your defense and you can't trust him, there's a problem there. There's a problem with your coaching. Do you know what I mean? But I do think if he improves on his coaching, listen, you might hate me for this. I think he might be one of the better managers in the league if he works on his tactics. So I think management wise, he's got it on job, man. Like for 2 years, they've been motivated to play for him. You see Pogba the other day coming out praising him. Yeah. Bruno loves him to bits. Luke Shaw-City is one of the greatest. Do you know what I mean? Like one of the best to improve me, whatever. So if he works on his, which is difficult because 10 years into your managerial career, but if you just find, for example, find a number 2 that's tactically very inept, like who can help you. If you see the likes of Ferguson, he always had the best number 2s, bro. Like Carlos Queiroz was great.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do. You need to find your number 2, bro. You could argue Jose's fallen literally. Jose, his downfall started from his number 2 leaving. Even Klopp, bro. I've seen a lot of Liverpool fans. His number 2 left after the Champions League final, and they won the league. But after that, bro, like it's gone down. So you need a number 2 that's gonna guide you. Like I think your backroom staff is a joke as well. Like it's just full of PR. It's a PR thing where it's just formal players, formal coaches coming back. So that's the thing, man.
Staff, it's like, that's the thing. I get it. Look, it's like I said in the beginning. I never used to look at counter-attacking as a style. Okay. I was like, nah, because here's the thing. I still think counter-attacking is not something you're guaranteed in 90 minutes.
It's true.
You're not guaranteed it, so you can't really turn around and like you could say it is a style of play, but that style of play all depends on how the game is going. If we play against a team that rolls up and says, listen, we're happy with a 0-0 draw, okay? We haven't got the attacking players to go out there and cause a threat. We're just going to sit back and try to break us down. Bro, we won't be able to counter-attack them. And I've seen it so many times. Like the one game that sticks in my head is Palace. I think it was like second game of the season, or was it first game of the season? And Sheffield United. Like when I saw the lineup, I was like, how does this work? Because I know when you come up against a team where you know they're about to sit back, let go of the fast players because their pace is not going to be needed. You need the smart, intelligent players. The players that can play in the pockets. Mata, Van der Beek, Martial. You're playing me Daniel James. Like, what's he doing? Like, here's the thing. So many people love to get on to him playing Daniel James against City. I fully understand why he plays Daniel James against City. It's like when Ferguson used to play Ji-Sung Park in all the big games. But whenever it was like against the small teams, Park is on the bench or he's not even in the squad. And then as I got older, I realized that I was like, because of what he brings. I understand when James plays against the big teams because he's an outlet that helps. Like he will drive with that ball.
Create space.
Against Sheffield, it makes no sense. Now here's the thing. Next year, like I've learned it. The reason why we play a double pivot is because the defense is shit. They need as much protection as they can get. Here's the thing. The 2 DMs, I don't think McTominay is a DM. I don't think he's a DM. I think McTominay is more of an 8, like box to box. Bro,
I don't understand this guy. He plays as a centre-back for Scotland. He plays as a 10 sometimes. I think in the academy he plays as a 10 or as a striker. Yeah, now he's a 6. And he can play as an 8. I don't understand this guy, man. But Sir Alex apparently loves him up. I don't know if you heard him.
Yeah, no, man. I saw that Sir Alex Ferguson thing. Bro, the Sir Alex Ferguson thing, here's the thing. Like, I love Ferguson. I love what he's done and everything. But, bro, I'm not going to take whatever he says and make it number 1. Nah, I'm like, no way. At the end of the day, his judgment can be wrong. And I've seen it as a Man United fan, where he's gone out and signed certain players and he's bigged them up. Bro, Ferguson is the same guy that came out after, 2-3 weeks of Phil Jones and saying this guy is a future England. I can't remember if it was either future England captain or future Man United captain.
No, that's not what he said. He said he's going to be one of our greatest ever players. Bro, it's just mad. Which is mad. Yeah,
that's the thing. So with the whole McTominay thing, I get it. And it's like, even like, I think last week he came out, I think Fletcher came out and he said like, oh, I've been working with McTominay. Bro, it's this whole Scottish fairy tale. Ferguson is Scottish. Then we had Fletcher under Ferguson. And now Ole, a former player of Ferguson, has McTominay, who's Scottish. Like, it's all that like sentimental shit. And it's annoying because when I watched McTominay, let's be real. The only reason why McTominay played centre back under Mourinho was because Mourinho was trying to send out a message to the board that listen, I wanted the centre back.
Yeah.
He never got me a centre back, so now I'm having to play a central midfielder, a centre back. That's number one. And secondly, everybody knows how Mourinho is in terms of defensive plays. He likes them big, tall,
6 foot plus.
Yeah, that's why he played. And here's the thing: the best part about it is, I remember it was against West Ham. And he tried to throw Martial under the bus because he was like, oh, like so many people were telling me, why is Martial always on the bench? I played Martial for you. And what did he do? Bro, we lost that game because you dashed McTominay in defense and McTominay was all over the place. But then you try to come out and say, you can't get onto the kid because he's not a centre-back. My bro, you're the one who put him at centre-back.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But I don't rate McTominay. Like, I'm not going to say he's shit. Like, a lot of people come out and say he's shit. I just feel like McTominay is a squad player. Like, he played the World Cup games, but there's no way on earth McTominay, if we want to challenge in the Champions League, we want to win the league, McTominay cannot start.
I say the same about some of my players.
Yeah. Fred, you could say the same, but it's just when McTominay plays DM, because he's not a DM, he hasn't got the discipline and positioning of a DM. So it makes Fred's job harder. It leaves the defense open. The defense, I'll be honest, like, the signings he's made are reckless. I love Wan-Bissaka, but they
don't fit one system, Haj. They don't fit one. Like, you've got the likes of Wan-Bissaka, who I feel like is a low block kind of defender, who will just sit on the edge of the box, like on that side, and just take on the challenges, like, you know, tackle. But I don't see him being someone who can actually interchange with a winger and trying to overlap and cross. He won't do that. You got Maguire, who's a ball playing centre back, but does he fit in with Wan-Bissaka? And you've got Lindelof with him, who. That doesn't work either, because like you want someone with pace and power, right? The likes of Bailly and even like maybe someone like Rudiger next to Maguire, because that complements one another. And we see Maguire becomes better when you play Bailly next to him, right? So for me, I feel like your signings, but you can't. I don't think you can blame Oli for your signings. I'll be honest. We're gonna get onto this actually. Like, you can't blame Oli for your signings, because I feel like these men just buy whoever is available, whoever fits a quota. But it's not about the quota of the team. It's about a quota. For example, English. Young leader like Maguire, right? You want someone English, young, up and coming in the Premier League, Wan-Bissaka. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not something that fills a quota like a Guardiola would buy or a City team would buy. Like, they have to be technically sound, operate around the box, like fit into my team. With United, it's not like that. It's just about buying individuals and try to fit them into a team. Yeah.
I feel with United signings, here's the thing. I remember when it got announced that we're linked with Wan-Bissaka because we signed him before. I said I loved Wan-Bissaka at Crystal Palace. Like, I was like, oh my God, he's wavy. But I always questioned him offensively because I was like, he's coming from a Crystal Palace team that 75% of their games, they tend to sit back.
Yeah.
So nobody's seen anything of him going forward. But I was like, look, at the end of the day, I'm a fan. I don't really watch Wan-Bissaka week in, week out. If they've scouted him correctly, then go for it. He's young. Defensively, he's solid. Go for it. Cool. We got him. Wan-Bissaka, he gets a lot of critics, but I just feel like, well, he's getting a lot of critics this year because of him defensively, because tackling-wise, he's one of the best. But positioning, he's all over the place.
That's why he's so good at tackling, bro, at recoveries, because he's not good positionally. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's not like we've gone and signed a 28-year-old in his prime who's got about 10 years of experience under his belt, and you're thinking, what's going on? Bro, at the end of the day, are you trying to tell me you go and sign a 20-year-old because he hasn't learned his trade and he doesn't know what to do, you just dash the blame on him? That's where your coaching comes into play. Like, Van Gaal made Smalling a player that Gareth Southgate came out and said he won't play for England again because he can't pass the ball and defensively he isn't the best. Bro, Smalling was like one of the best centre-backs that year.
Yeah.
And Van Gaal had people like, who was it? It was like Darmian, Smalling, Blind, that so many people never rated, and he doesn't fit the whole mold of a centre back. He's short, he's not physical.
Haj, you know what? Sorry to interrupt, bro, but you know what? You know what a system does? A system limits your weaknesses. So because Sarri's there, I'll look at Sarri at Chelsea. What he did is when he gives you a system and he gives you a role to do, you just do that role and you do it well. Like, and you avoid your weaknesses, you avoid what you're like. You actually work on your strengths in that system. Do you know what I mean? So like Kovacic, for example. Under a Sarri system, he wasn't so good because he's someone who can't be like rigid in midfield. He has to have the freedom, dribble, and like obviously like find the spaces. But Sarri won't do that, or he won't give you that space. He'll give that to Jorginho, and them two will work together. Like you look at the likes of even our defense. Our defense, like if you tactically drill them like Tuchel's doing right now, I'm not gonna lie to you, you'll see less mistakes. But under Lampard and under Oli, you're gonna see more mistakes because he probably doesn't give them as much instructions and as much like gives them too much freedom. Unlike a system like Sarri does or Van Gaal. Do you know what I mean? So that's what it does. It helps your strengths and it takes away your weaknesses.
Yeah, it eliminates all the weaknesses from their game. But the thing is that's where I feel like Solskjaer doesn't have it in him. And then here's the thing. Solskjaer's come out and said that his management approach is identical to Ferguson's. And that's another thing that pisses me off about him. Like, bro, you're a mimic of the guy. Everything. Like, I remember when he first came in, Manchester Derby, and he came out in the press conference like, I brought the old boss in. And I'm like, why? Like, just do it yourself. Like, bro, like, I get it. You love the guy, what he's done for the team. When he comes in, like, bro, everyone, automatic respect. They'll take on board whatever he says. But, bro, at the end of the day, you're the manager. Let the man live his life. I don't understand why you're bringing him in and everything. I found it annoying. He came out and said, listen, I don't coach these players. I more supervise. I just stand there, watch, rally them on, and McKenna and Carrick are in charge of first team coaching. Carrick retired. Van Gaal gave him an opportunity in his backroom staff. Mourinho came in and kept him on. And then Ole promoted him to first team coach. Bro, he hasn't done anything. It's not like he's gone out there for a relatively smaller team.
Probably some merit.
Yeah, proved that his first team coaching is of a high level in order for him to implement it at Man United. He's still learning. McKenna's another one that he's like a Man United soft spot for so many fans because he won, I think it was like the league title for the under 18s. Bro, by that logic, there's so many coaches out there that have won under 18s. What, are you automatically going to drop him into the first?
It's a big problem, bro. It's a big problem. We're having this more and more with the big teams. They're appointing people based on PR, like pulling on people heartstrings, like giving them opportunities that they don't deserve. Like I'm looking at like even Juventus, even Chelsea, like they keep appointing people based on PR just to kind of shut people down, like make them. You know what they do? They appoint these people, so when they fail, these people accept the failure even like a bit more than they would, for example, from an outsider. Like you look at Lampard, like we have a big issue here, like with Chelsea, is that when he left, like Chelsea Twitter imploded, the Chelsea community imploded because he didn't deserve to leave. But of course he did. But because they employed him and made him take the fall as a PR guy, people accept it, man. That's the problem. It's happening at United. I'm seeing it even with your director of football, isn't it, Darren Fletcher?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But no, bro, listen, you've spoken, Ollie. I'll let you on because I know you have a lot to say. But I want you to actually touch on the Glazers as well, man. It's very important because I don't want the viewers here to think that you think Ollie's the main problem because I know you don't. I've spoken to you before.
No. Ollie's not the main problem, but I've always said, it's like when people come out, the only reason why people get onto Ollie is because, bro, it's easier to shift one person, such as Solskjaer, rather than an entire family.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, like, I was chatting to one of my other friends here because Kroenke came out and he said, bro, we're not selling Arsenal.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, do you think he gives a shit about protests?
No.
Bro, at the end of the day, he's still generating money. Even if his shares were to go down, he's still generating money. And those shares eventually will go up. Like once all of this
sorry, bro. Sorry to interrupt. You know, protests work with managers, not with owners. With managers, it might. Because if it's a big, like I said with Arsene Wenger, if it's a big majority of the fans coming out, then it's easier to just get rid of the manager. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, sorry, bro. Carry on. Yeah.
So that's the thing, bro. As long as he doesn't get cold feet, bro, in 2-3 months' time, he's gonna make his money. So if anything, like I'll be honest, if I was an owner and I didn't give a shit about football and I wasn't like Kroenke's player, bro, I'll just ignore all the news, all the social media, and then that's it. I'm still making my money. My main goal from buying this team was to generate money, and I'm generating my money because I don't give a shit about football. That's the problem with the Glazers. Like, I'll be honest, I don't know much about their whole history and everything. All that I do know is they've come in and they've never ever, like, you see how Abramovich, the money that Chelsea earn through like tickets, shirt sales and everything, he invests the majority of that money into the club. And then if he has to, he'll dig in from his own pocket.
Which he has done before,
and invest into the team. That's why Chelsea have had the odd season where they've spent 200, 300, 400 M's.
Yeah.
Okay. And here's the thing: so many people argue like, "Oh, that's not fair." At the end of the day, you spend what you earn.
Yeah.
Okay. But here's the thing, bro. If you want to see your team get successful and you're capable of taking out 100 M's from your savings, and you can do it. Do it. That's how you become a successful team.
Yeah.
With United, ever since they took over United, they've never ever. I think they bought United in what 2003 or 4.
Of 3, yeah, same season as Abramovich. Yeah,
they've never ever invested a pound from their own pocket.
that's true.
And here's the thing: the money, because United were we're a global brand, we generate filthy amount of money. And then what they've done, they've used that money every summer. They'll probably take away 50 to 75% of it and invest it into America. That's how they bought their NFL team and everything. They've never ever once taken money out of their own pocket and been like, you know what, let's put it into the team. And that's why, bro, like apparently like this year we're quoted at what, 80 million. That's all we have. 80 million to spend on transfers. Bro, that's a joke. Like, pandemic or not, United should have minimum 300 M's. Because I don't think we're the biggest club in the world. I'll probably say we're the second biggest after Madrid. But bro, the money that we earn is crazy.
But you know what, Haj? Let me ask you a question, bro. Do you think, because we all know the Glazers, they don't communicate. They're almost like a secret like owner, like that you never see, you never hear. But I think, I think the Super League document that was sent to every club. I don't know if you know that they posted a tweet about the Super League,
Yeah.
And on in the tweet, in the document, it has Glazer's name. For me, that stood out because this guy never puts his name on anything. I think Gary Neville said this actually. Never puts his. He never talks. Never puts his name on. But I think that move, because the Super League failed, I think a little bit more pressure is on him. Because I feel like you lot's fans, like, again, I understand getting an owner out for protest is almost not impossible, but it's very improbable. It probably won't happen. But I think that move kind of he pulled his own trousers down, and I'm not going to lie to you. He embarrassed himself in front of the public because now that he put his name on it, an apology is not enough. These fans will not forget. So I feel he's a bit under more pressure now because of the whole document, the whole Super League thing. As you saw, but I think Edward, they probably sacrificed him as a goat, man. Like just threw him in as a black sheep. You take the fall for it, and we'll carry on. But I think more pressure's on the Cronkies, on the FSGs, and on the Glazers now. So it'll be interesting to see because even reports come out that some of the owners are thinking of leaving. Some actually reliable sources. So I don't know, man. It'll be interesting to see how it develops. I
think with United, like there was that thing that came out, which is like apparently one of the owners had enough from the pressure and like his whole family being targeted and everything, and like he's about to sell.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: the Glazers have never ever come out and said. Well, there were periods where they came out and said, "Listen, we're not looking to sell United." But bro, in the past, they've come out and said, "Listen, United are not for sale." Yeah. But if a certain price does come into play, we'll think about it. Here's the thing, bro. They've already profited from United. Trillions.
Of course.
But the thing is, they're still going to try and make a ridiculous profit when it comes to selling the club. Now, here's the thing. In terms of business, cool, it makes sense. Yeah. If a club like United became available, it's in huge demand. Like there's this Malaysian person, I don't know his name, but he's a diehard United fan. Yeah. And he's been dying to buy United. Like he's saying, like, listen, put it up for sale and I'll buy it.
Yeah.
But the thing is the Glazers won't put up United for sale because, bro, at the end of the day, with everything going on at the moment, they're still making money. They're still making money. So why would you sell? It makes no sense. What? Just because in one country you've got fans crying? Because here's the thing: so many American United fans are all for the Super League.
Of course.
Because if I lived in America and I'm like, oh my god, like now I could watch my Man United come to America and I can watch them go to the stadium. Boy, I'm all for it. Why do I have to wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning just to watch United? That's the thing. So I don't think the Glazers will sell. I genuinely don't. Like even the little letter that they made, like Liverpool, I think were the only team that issued a video. The Glazers, it was like a little letter to the fans. Bro, it was bullshit. Like this is the first time they communicate with the fans since 2003. Like, you've seen that clip that's just like circulating all over social media when they first bought us. Yeah. And the journalists are asking him, like, listen, do you have anything to say to Man United fans? Just anything. He's just there grinning in the background. They won't sell. Like there's a protest tomorrow at Old Trafford. Like, it's all over Twitter, like 3 p.m.
I think it'll be big though. It'll be big.
It'll be big.
But what will it do?
This is what I think it'll do. I think in order to get the fans on board, because I know how the United fans are, like the majority of them are. Because, bro, 2 years ago, there was also another planned protest at Old Trafford because they lost their shit. And then what they done, the protest was planned 2 weeks in advance. During those 2 weeks, United went out and signed Bruno. Okay,
PR, bro, PR.
Done the whole PR. When I tell you, Solskjaer then came out and said like, like we need to stay as a unit. No, don't walk out on us and all that bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody walked out of the stadium. There was no protest. And here's the thing, I've already called it. I genuinely think in the summer, United will probably go out and sign. I'm not going to say 2 marquee players. No way. I can't see us doing that. They'll go out and
definitely
sign
one
marquee player.
Yeah, like definitely one. Yeah.
Big head. Okay, and then that will silence everyone because that's how it is. Everyone will get silenced. Like, okay, cool. Are they backing us and everything? Because if you think what they've done in since 2003 in 17, 18 years, all of that is done up by signing Bruno, a 45 million player that took us 18 months to sign.
Yeah, but bro, look at Liverpool, by the way. They're about to complete the signing of Konate, and that's not a coincidence. Like, it's happening now. It's not a coincidence. But yeah, bro. Listen, it's I just wanted to clarify to all the viewers that this guy, like, obviously he speaks about Oli first, but he understands the Glazers. He understands the problems that come with the Glazers. I don't think any United fan thinks that Oli's a bigger problem than the Glazers. I've never met a fan like that. Do you know what I mean? So
No.
So the way I see it is, it's more American owners. They work on a self-sufficiency, like kind of model with the big clubs, with the 3 biggest clubs in England right now: Arsenal, Liverpool, and United. They all have American owners that all work on self-sufficiency. So it'll be interesting to see what the pressure goes on them. But now, you know what? I want to touch on Chelsea a little bit. This is a little trending topic I want to just touch on you with. Jorginho came out and spoke to a newspaper, and they talked about Lampard. He's like, the following quotes is what he said. Let me just get the quote for quote. It's about Lampard. Give me a sec, sorry. Yeah, Jorginho just mentioned that Lampard didn't get his job based on merit. He literally said those words. So, and there was this whole massive backlash. People just, arguing and having meltdowns about it. But the truth is that it is absolute facts. It's facts. Like, I spoke about Lampard on this channel. No, actually not on this channel, but I spoke on Lampard on other channels, and we all knew as Chelsea fans that he didn't deserve the job. He got the job based. Shout out to what's that guy called from the United Full-Time Devils? He got it based on a technicality. That's what happened. Yeah, Andy Tate. Technicality. It's the truth, bro. He did. Like, if we went in a transfer ban, if we didn't go through like this weird period where Hazard left, Lampard wouldn't have been appointed. We would have got a better manager. We would have even maybe kept Sorry, but it happened. And I'm glad he spoke out the truth, because Jorginho is someone who gets a lot of hate from our fans. Yeah, I remember I was in the stadium and they started booing him 2 months into his contract. Yeah, I remember 2 months into him coming to Chelsea, started getting booed because he was associated with Sorry and with Kante being out of position. So people went mad. But no, this guy, honestly, I love the fact that he spoke facts. I know Lampard knows it himself. So people overreacting. Listen, just stop being emotional, man. Just honestly, the guy's gone now. Like, love him as a legend, but as a manager, he was one of our worst ever managers. It's the truth. Like, statistically and reality is. Like, we saw the football. We saw how he was. We were crossing the balls into Kante. We were doing ridiculous stuff. Like, tactically, he was very inept. So he's gone now. And look, we got a serious manager. And look at what a serious manager does for you. Gets you to a semi-final.
I think, like, I've realised it with United as well. So many fans, they fail to differentiate between the player and the coach. Like, here's the thing. So many people have a go at me. They're like, oh, Ollie's a club legend and everything. In my eyes, he's not a club legend. Like, he was a great player for the team. Yeah. But just because what he done as a player doesn't warrant him the coach. It makes no sense. Because here's the thing. Like, he's been a coach for 10 years and he's done nothing. Okay. Now, here's the thing. You could argue that, okay, maybe Lampard should have been given more time because, bro, he's only done 1 year at Derby. In my eyes, he failed at Derby. That's what I think. Yeah. And then he automatically came into the Chelsea team. Now, here's the thing. As a Chelsea fan, it's like the amazing fairy tale. If it had worked out, of
course,
the best manager, club legend, he loves Chelsea, he knows Chelsea inside out, it would have made sense. And here's the thing, it's like, for example, me, my favorite ever United player, or let's say players were like, let's say Ronaldo, Rooney. If United were now to go out and say, cool, where's Rooney? Rooney's at Derby now, isn't it? So, okay, cool. Rooney's at Derby. Let's say he's doing wonders. and now he gets brought into United. But I'll back it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's because I love Rooney as a player. But I'll also be the first to say, listen, no matter how well he does as a manager, I'll never take away what he done as a player.
That's true, yeah. And that's what I've done, bro. On this platform, I have never taken away what Frank's done as a player. But you have to differentiate, bro. I've seen people say you can't differentiate. It's the same person. I'm like, okay, it's the same person, but it's two different roles.
It's a different objective.
If you had the wife and she worked with you and she was your manager, you don't treat her the same way you do at home than you do. Do you know what I mean? It's differentiate. You have to differentiate. Like it's business. Like football is a business at the end of the day. We love being emotional. We love the fairy tales. But when it comes to someone being a manager and success, it's business. Like business said that Lampard was losing Roman money because he wasn't making the top 4. Business said that he spent this money on Werner and Chilwell, and these men didn't perform better. Do you know what I mean? So he didn't improve many players. So you have to look at it just in an objective manner. He deserved to get sacked, and Jorginho's completely right. Him speaking out is, you know what? Like it's just an interview. These things happen. People need to stop overreacting.
No,
but yeah, man.
Jorginho speaking out. Don't like. I haven't come across it, but I think it's because I don't follow many like Chelsea things on like Twitter and everything. But I think 50% of the hate that Jorginho is gonna get is because, let's be real, bro, he's not English.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
If he was English, like let's just say, for example, if it was Mason Mount or if it was Ben Chilwell that had come out and said this, everyone would have taken it on board. Now,
brush it off.
They would have got hate. They would have got hate, but it's because it's a foreigner. They're now going to look at him as like, okay, cool. Like, he doesn't understand Lampard. He doesn't know who Lampard is and everything. But, bro, let's be real. He doesn't deserve it but that's the thing about the UK when it comes to managers. Like, there was one with Tottenham. They came and gave the job to, I think his name is Ryan Mason.
Ryan Mason, yeah.
Bro, he's done nothing. Like, when I tell you nothing, but...
He's 29 years old.
Tottenham's first team coach for the past 3 years has been Ledley King.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, whenever a manager gets sacked, usually it's the first team, especially if it's for like interim period, like not long term, just maybe like what is it, like 6, 7, 8 games left of the season? Yeah. You just give it to the first team coach because he knows the players inside out. There's no point gambling. And here's the thing, like clubs need about a few months just to scout a new manager. But they went and gave it to Ryan Mason and they didn't give it to Ledley King. You could argue the same about Sol Campbell. He started off his trade, I remember, in Macclesfield.
Yeah, they were rock bottom, and they somehow survived with him as manager. I think he dragged them out of relegation. Yeah,
and then he came out. I remember because he came out in an interview and he said in terms of qualifications and credentials as a manager, I've got the most. He was like, of course I haven't done much, but he's like, I've got way more than Gerrard. I've got way more than Lampard. Why does Gerrard go to one of the biggest teams in Scotland? Lampard automatically takes over a playoff team. So it's not even like it's a team that's like at the bottom of the championship. No, bro, this is a team that gets.
We'll say it how it is, bro. It's a skin color, my guy. It's a skin color. Like if it's not nationality, it's a skin color. Do you know what I mean? Like it's them two to combine. It's the truth. Like, why doesn't? Who's that guy? Darren Moore. Yeah, Darren Moore. I believe with West Brom, he came in and they were winning games. Yeah, I believe they still got relegated, but they were down in the bottom. He was a good coach, you know. Like I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you don't remember him. He used to wear like I don't know trainers, but he's a bold black guy, man.
I remember
Darren Moore. Decent manager, man. He got in the championship, applied his trade there, but never got a job again. Like never got a big job in the championship. I think he's in League One, I think now. But it just shows you, man. There is bias. We don't have many black managers. It's clear to see why. Like Chris Hughton at Brighton.
I was about to say him.
Survived. Obviously, it's a good move for them now because Graham Potter plays better football. But Chris Hughton deserves to get sacked. That's the truth. But these things happen, man. We know this. Listen, me and you are both minorities. We know this. We've been through this. This society, we've been through this. But no, man. Before we last part of the section of the show, just want to talk about the games coming up in the weekend, man. We got you've got Leeds versus Man United, which is a big game, obviously playing away. We got West Ham versus Chelsea. I just want to get your predictions. Just give me like an insight about the game, just a quick like
I think
preview.
I love Leeds, innit? Like I'm not one of them United fans that's gonna like me as a fan, I don't give a shit about the whole United City, United Liverpool beef. I don't give a shit about it. Like at the end of the day, if you play good football, I will support it and I will watch it. Leeds, I love the way they play, but I don't think like we beat them 6-2 at Old Trafford, probably one of the best games I've seen. But I don't think they'll be a threat this time because their number one outlet is Rafinha, and he came out earlier today in a conference and he said he hasn't trained all week. He's out. And the thing is, I watched them against Liverpool. they're like
needed
a
him.
completely different team. Like
Yeah.
it's just like they're still offensively, they're still good, but like with Rafinha, it was something different. So I think I'm not gonna say it'll be comfortable because every single team that's gone to Ellen Road this year has struggled because apparently their pitch is the worst in the league. They haven't.
As in quality of grass, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay,
Apparently you
okay.
have to wear what's it called, rugby boots.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Bielsa does it on purpose. I'm sure Bielsa knows about this, bro. Like he's a
Yeah.
genius, bro. He thinks about everything, fam.
So I don't think it'll be comfortable, but I think we'll probably win like a 2-1, 1-0. That's what I think. But the Chelsea game, London Derby, two teams fighting for top 4.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I think it's gonna be 0-0.
Ooh.
I think it's gonna be because my issue with Chelsea is Chelsea, no matter who you put them up against, they can dominate the game because your system and the way you guys play.
Thanks.
But it's similar to Van Gaal, which is I don't think Tuchel has the players to dominate and then cause a threat. Like offensively, you've got great players on paper, but whenever I watch Chelsea, it feels like they're not on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
And that's and let's be fair.
It's a new signing aspect, bro. So when you have new signings, they still haven't gelled, which is mad. Which is no excuse.
Yeah.
They should have gelled by now, but you're right. The system is, it's people always compare it to Van Gaal, but I'm not gonna lie to you. If we just had more creativity up front, if these people, if the three forwards, the Mason Mounts, the Pulisic, and the Havertz, just were in better form, we would be potent. We would score goals, and we'd be very good in defense. So we just need those men to just start kicking, and we'll be good to go. I think we'll be good to go.
I think it's your rotation. Like that's the one thing.
But he has to rotate. We have too many games. Yeah, we have to.
He rotates too much, and I feel like too much rotation doesn't let players build a bond with one another. But you could argue he's a new manager. He still doesn't know his best starting 11.
Yeah,
maybe that's why he rotates. But I just think against West Ham, the thing is about West Ham is whenever I watch West Ham, they don't play amazing football, but they've always got a goal in them.
Very effective.
Like when I watch West Ham and I'm like, how on earth did you get 3 goals? Like it's just like Lingard's is on fire.
Crazy, yeah.
But I think defensively they're very poor.
We can get at them without Rice as well. Declan Rice is a big miss, so we can get at them. No, I'm gonna go for it. You know what? I'm gonna go for 3-1 Chelsea, man. I don't usually say we're gonna score 3 goals in the game, but I just got a weird feeling about. I think if he plays the Pulisic, Mount, and Havertz front 3, they scored 4 goals against. Was it 5 goals against Palace? So we can kick on from there. I think the United game. I'm not gonna lie. I see a high scoring draw. I see a 2-2 or a 3-3 in there. I'm not gonna lie because I feel like Leeds will just dominate. I think, and you guys will just keep hitting them on the counter. But I think they might score first. And I just think see it being goal fest and everything. So hey, you never know, man. You never know. I hope you don't lose. I always want you to lose, anyways, man. But yeah, man. No, listen, it was a great show, man. We went on for an hour and about 8 minutes there. Just want to let you guys know in the description again. Follow him on TikTok. He's gonna soon be on YouTube. This is not the last time me and him are gonna collab as well.
No,
more collabs coming through. So this was really fun, man. We talked about a lot of things. And yeah, guys, make sure you subscribe to my channel as well in the below, and subscribe to KH No Filter Football. It's also in the description. We're very close to 1K. I'm part of the panel there. So yeah, man. Thanks for joining us, guys. Honestly, this was really fun, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care.
Take it easy. How do I end this?